here. And then that would be your line. And then when we plug in the values, but still you're plugging in the values, your y should be negative 1.5 when you plug in negative 2. When we plug in negative 2, what did our value get? Yeah, 1.5, negative 1.5. But why when we plug in negative 4? Oh, because, my bad. Because our change is it, that's what it was. This value should have been 1.5 different. So when I plugged in this, it should have been negative 1.5 plus negative 2, or what is that? Negative 5 over 2, and that would have been different. So then this would be 5 over 2, and when we added those up, then we should get negative that's still wrong, because that's negative 5 over 2. Oh, I still have to plug it in, duh. So when I plug in negative 5 over 2 into my function, which would be 3 divided by negative 5 over 2. So that's 3 divided by negative 5 over 2. So that's 3 times negative 2 over 5. So that's negative 6 over 5. So this would be negative 6 over 5. And so how do I turn these into the same fraction? Then I get 5 over 5 and 2 over 2. And that's negative 12 over 10. And that's plus 15 over 10. Right? Then I get negative, what is that, 3? Negative 3 over 10. So that's 0.3. That's still wrong, 0.3. That's not right either. Should be 0.6. Why is it 9/14?
Yeah, I know.
What am I doing wrong? Is it off?
It's weird.
Well, we have to do it over again anyways.
Man, I already wrote that all of that down.
No, everything's right up until doing a stupid delta y. It shouldn't be that hard. Alright, let's try the delta y over again.
I thought we were supposed to do a test today.
We were, but we have to know this because you have 3 of these problems on your test. So, what am I doing wrong with this delta y? It's too easy, come on. Think, Dan. I'm plugging in negative 2, because that's my starting point. Okay, negative 2. So you plug in negative 2, f of negative 2. That's your starting point. That's also going to be subtracted from, and when I add it, it's going to be negative 3 over 2 plus negative 2. Oh, that's why. I'm so stupid sometimes. Okay, so 2 is really 4 over 2, which is 7 over 2. That's why. So we're trying to find negative 7 over 2. My bad. Not 5 over 2. F of 7 over 2. Alright. So it's really not as hard as it looks if you think about just the problem. So why are we getting 7 over 2? Because I'm plugging it back into this equation, right? So I have, when I think about it, I'm subtracting 3 halves, right? 3 halves from negative 2. negative 2 is really negative 4 over 2, right? When you subtract 3/2 from that, then you're really adding it, right? You're adding negative. So it becomes negative 7 over 2. And so that's the number that you're actually putting in to the original function. Which means you would have 3 over negative 7 over 2 minus 3 over negative 2, right? But when you're dividing, the 3 is divided by negative 7 over 2, it's really 3 times 2 over negative 7, right? So then what do you have? You have 6 over negative 7 minus a minus 3 over 2, which makes it a plus. And then, right? And then we want to make them the same bottoms, which is 14. So I take this and multiply this by 2, and I multiply this by 7, right? And I gotta do the same to the top. So I get 12 over negative 14 plus 21 over 14, right? And when I add those together, the negative 12, right, because this negative 12 is up top, right? Negative 12 from 14 gives me what? So 6 and 1 is 7. It's still 7 over 14. Doesn't make sense. 7 over 4, it should be 9 over 14.
Well, I just wrote all that, so.
Why is it not 7 over 14?
Why is it 7 over 14? 21 minus 12 is 9, isn't it?
Look at that.
Yeah, duh.
Oh, smartness.
Because I'm being dumb tonight.
Today.
Today.
Every day. Just kidding.
Thank you. But anyways, so now we have the number that we want. That's the difference. That's all you're doing to find this difference. There is some complex math in it, only because they're always going to throw some kind of fraction, some kind of square root, some kind of something at you. Okay? Does that make more sense though? Did we take a good enough stop to go back into it?
Yes.
Is that better, Lamont?
I didn't even watch.
Ladies?
Yeah. It was alright.
Okay. Sorry about messing that first part up of the fractions. Not perfect, obviously.